everybody, so today I'm going to do a chatty get ready with me with all new products. So I've never done a video like this before where I actually chat about the products as I put them on my face and then new products. And I'm looking at down here, there are a couple of things that I've actually tried. So I've tried the lipstick topper and I've tried the foundation, but not in the way that I'm going to apply it today. And I've tried the powder, and some of the brushes. But kind of it's a first impression of everything else. So I'm pretty excited to do this because I've not, like I said, not done one of these before. And you will have seen these products hauled in the previous video and hopefully you did enjoy that. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this. So I have already primed my face, and I primed my face with the B Men Post Shape Balm, which you would have seen in the haul. I do have a video coming up on this as a comparison with the Nivea Post Shape Balm. Of course, Nikki Tutorial started this whole thing off when one day she had no primer and she used her boyfriend's Post Shape Balm because it had glycerin in it. And hey presto, she's totally I don't know, took over YouTube with this whole idea of Post Shape Balm as primer, and every time you go to Superdrug to buy it, it's out of stock and Boots. But yes, I've got this on, and then I've got my BB cream on because I always put a BB cream as a base. Because I've got rosacea, I just find that sometimes I don't want to pack layers and layers of foundation on, so I put a BB cream underneath. So I already have a video on YouTube about how I cover my rosacea. I'll link that below. Well, it's always linked below anyway. My routine has changed a little bit, so I may do like an updated routine. But for the most part, it's still pretty similar. I haven't put anything on over the areas of rosacea today, just the BB cream. So what we're going to try first is the new Dream Velvet foundation from Maybelline. I got mine in, I think it's 01. I have mine in 01, which is natural. It is the lightest colour, of course. It's a very thick consistency. I've actually used this before. I'm going to put a little get ready with me up. It's just a very short one where I'm using this, and I actually use it with, I can't remember whether I used a brush. I think I did, I used a brush with it. But I also have the blender, and I thought I'd give it a go using this. Now it doesn't say that you moisten this before, it just says to apply it. So this kind of sponge, because it's very silicone, it's unlikely that it is going to soak a lot of the product in anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and use it dry. Kind of looks like, you know, the Taj Mahal. And it's only on a little handle, but we'll see. I know that you can get these kinds of brushes on long handles, which I've been thinking about possibly getting one because I think it'd be quite nice to blend in foundation, but we'll see. See how this one goes. So normally I'd put it on the back of my hand and then put my brush in it and put it over. I even do that with a sponge, so I'm not really sure how we're going to do this. I think I'll just dab it on my face and we'll see how it goes. I just can't believe the consistency of this. It is so thick. Okay, here we go. Okay, already I can tell you that I'm using more foundation there than I normally would, and this just feels like it's moving it around rather than providing any coverage. Maybe I'm being a bit heavy with it, so just... okay. I'm not sure about this little thing, so I'm kind of glad that I did get this on offer. I also just, I don't know, I'll put some of this on the back of my hand and kind of dab it in because that's how I prefer to use it. It just feels weird to have this on like a little handle, if I'm honest. And the other thing I think that doesn't feel quite right is that this sponge feels very firm, and I mean, I don't know. If you use a pattern technique, it's probably better, but I just kind of feel because it's so small, it would probably take forever and a day for you to use this to apply it. And it definitely doesn't, it's definitely what I'd say a light to medium coverage, because it doesn't cover like the redness, it doesn't cover the spots and things, so you definitely need to use concealer with it. So although the consistency of it is very thick. It definitely feels like it's just not one of those foundations where it's going to give a great coverage, if that makes sense, because sometimes the thicker a foundation is, sorry, I'm using my fingers because it's just driving me nuts. The thicker a foundation is, you would expect it to maybe have a better coverage to it, rather than fluid. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I just kind of think with it being a thick cream. But no, I don't think it's got great coverage, I have to say. This is the second time that I've used it on camera. The first time, like I said, be the Get Ready With Me, which will be up next. And I just feel like the coverage of this, it's not amazing, and it's definitely one of those more buildable foundations. Probably something that for me, it's when I'm having a really good skin day. I mean, I'm having a fairly good skin day, but I've got 3 spots, which seem to be in an L shape, a reverse L, and I can see the redness of those, and I can still see some of my rosacea there. Now, the rosacea hasn't been so bad, and I just find some of the other foundations I use, particularly more, I suppose, Double Wear foundation by Estee Lauder, which we all know is full coverage. I don't even have to bother about the rosacea because it will cover it. But yeah, that has not covered that patch there because it's worse on my cheeks. And it just feels weird to kind of be using a sponge that's on like a little thing like that. I just feel like that's not covering that rosacea, because I feel like, even with my finger, the more you layer this, the more it just seems to kind of shift about on the skin. I don't know whether that's because I have combination skin and I do have some oily areas, but my cheeks generally aren't very oily here, but it does feel like it's just shifting around. And it does feel better actually when you apply it with your fingers. Like, I've applied it there and I feel like that was better than here. And so I would say that this is an interesting little thing, but I don't think it's really very good. I think it's far too firm. It's got a strange little handle, and it just feels like you're moving stuff around your face rather than blending it in. Even when you pat it, I think it would take forever just because it's so small. So I'm not a huge fan of that. The foundation is nice, but it is a light coverage. So for me, I would have to have a really good skin day for me to be able to wear that. Because I feel like when I'm layering it, I just feel like it's moving. And the other thing is, I would definitely say abandon everything and use your fingers when you're using this, because it's got that slideability and that movement in it. It just feels better when you do apply it with your fingers because you have a little bit more control of where it's going. And I don't know whether the warmth of your skin, against the warmth of your skin, actually helps make it blend better, if that makes sense. So I do like the foundation, but like I said, just perhaps not for me when I'm having bad skin days. If you've got really nice skin, I think this would probably work really well for you. And it'd probably be really quite nice maybe for dry skin. It just feels like it's kind of moving about a bit. Maybe if I'd done something with my rosacea beforehand, but I do feel like there's a little bit of like redness kind of still coming through in other areas. We'll move on. So I have to conceal now, and this is not a product that I can say, oh, I've just hauled this. So I'll just kind of put that on. In all those groovy little areas. And I'm just using the Naked Skin one there. And mine is in, I think it's Fair Neutral, which is the lightest shade. And I'm just going to use the sponge that I showed in the haul, which is by B Cosmetics. I don't know, is that like a one that's exclusive to Superdrug, because I've not seen it anywhere else. But this is what it looks like. It's identical to the Beauty Blender, which I showed in the haul. Excuse mine, because my Jack Russell puppy decided to eat the top of my Beauty Blender. Of all sponges, the Beauty Blender, which is the most expensive one. But it's identical in shape and size, and firmness as well. So I use it dry when I'm concealing, using it with concealer. You don't need to wet it. This is a lovely little sponge. And I've tried, when Real Techniques first brought their sponge out, I tried it and it cracked very quickly and like bits came out of it, and I was very unimpressed with it. But I don't know whether they've reformulated them, because they seem to be getting better reviews now, but I know I'm not the only person. I think other people also had the same sort of problems. So whether it was kind of because they rushed it out because they wanted to get it out on the market, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't like that and I threw that one away. And I used the Beauty Blender, and then I've got some, I can't actually remember the brand, but they're amazing sponges that I got off Love Makeup. I'll link them below so you can see them. And I like using a sponge, particularly for concealing, but I also use them for powder and contour and stuff like that, and baking and stuff. But for concealing, I don't wet them, and they don't seem to take in a lot of the product. Like, I mean, it's dirty anyway, but it's blended in quite nicely there. So I've just waffled about nothing. I forgot to get my brow brush. So next I'm going to do my brows, which is a bit strange, but we'll go with it. I'm going to use the Illamasqua Eyebrow Cake. You can use this wet or dry, but I'm going to use it dry today. This one's in Motto, which is kind of a grey, cool grey, brown, taupey colour. I'm so good at describing colours. And I'm just going to pop it on with this brush, which just is the best brush for brows ever. And it's by Zoeva. It's the most amazing brush ever. Well, you know, I think it's amazing for brows. And it's the Brow Line brush. It's just perfect. It's really nice and firm, and I love the shape of it. And I love this colour because I like a cool toned sort of brow. And I do need to pluck them, so please do excuse if there's any strays there. But I did use this the other day, and I love this colour. I think it's amazing. They are darker when you use them wet, but it's really nice as well. And it was an absolute bargain. I don't know if they still have them on the site. I got this in 2 colours to try, and I absolutely love both colours. I'm so disorganised. So I don't have any new eye primers, so I'm just going to pop this one on. This is the Revlon Photo Ready eye primer. I absolutely love this primer. Okay, and I'm going to use this brush, which is this the right one? The Emphasize Contour from the Sigma Sculpt and Highlight range? Was it Sculpt and Highlight? I can't remember. But these are Sculpt and Highlight brushes from Sigma. And a lot of people don't talk about it in this sense, but I think this is amazing because of the shape of it for the forehead. So I'm going to use the Illamasqua, no, this is Smashbox. This is the bronze stick out of the Bronze and Contour Stick Trio. Bronze Contour Highlight. And then I just use the brush on the contour of my face to blend that in. And I love it. Because this curve just sits perfectly at the top of your head there, and yeah, gives you that really nice shade and shape up there. So I really love that brush. I think that brush is amazing. Okay, now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to I think I'll powder my face now. I'm going to use the new Airspun. I actually have the original one, but this is the translucent extra coverage, and I'm going to use my new Sigma brush, which is the large powder. I think it's considered one of the pro range. Sorry it's dirty because I have been using this. This is an amazing brush. And I generally just pick up a large amount of powder and then take the lid and just tap it so it's not quite so much. And I don't know whether this extra coverage really has any extra coverage, if I'm honest. And if you're going to use this, you definitely want to not be wearing the clothes that you're going to go out in, because this stuff just goes everywhere. But it is totally amazing. It's a very messy powder. And like I said, I don't know that it really has a lot of difference in between this one and the normal coverage. But I'll feed back to you and let you know. I think maybe it does a little. It's so silky. When you first put it on, you just want to stroke your face. It's so lovely. Right, so I guess can't put it off anymore. Let's get on to the eyes. I think I'm just going to go for the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette and figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use Divinity all over the lid, which is the cream matte shade at the bottom. That's really nicely pigmented. Love it. Okay. Put a bit of mocha in the crease. Have you seen that they're releasing a peach palette of this, and the shadows are going to smell of peaches. It's pretty exciting. It's got some nice colours in it too. And for anybody who really likes the peanut butter colour in the semi-sweet the second one, in that one, they're releasing that colour in the peanut butter and jelly palette, which is kind of the old format where you get the 3 larger shades and then the 6 smaller ones. But it actually looks a really, really nice palette, so I might be interested in that. And then I'm going to go into the colour that's next to that, which is, I'm going to go to Bordeaux, because this colour is just screaming to me. Tap off the excess with that. So that's Bordeaux all over the lid, and then I'm just going to take kind of a fluffy brush, blend out the edges. Nothing looks worse than when people just leave that harsh line. I really don't like a harsh line. And the colour I'm actually using to blend that out is Almond Truffle. It's such a beautiful colour. Really like that sort of dusky pink. It's really lovely. This colour has some this palette has some beautiful colours in it. And it's just kind of given a really nice diffused soft edge to that, which I really like that. And then I'm just going to go into this colour because I can't resist it, and just put a bit of sparkle on there. And this one is Dark Truffle at the bottom corner. I'm just going to put that in the outer corner of the eye. That is such a pretty colour. Oh, I might have to put that underneath the eye, we'll see. But that's what that is. And I need a small brush. We'll just go with this one. I think I'm going to go for this really nice kind of silvery shade. Cafe au lait. So I'm going to use Cafe au lait, that colour, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner. I might need to revisit it because I sometimes find that when I do this now, when I do under the eye and the eyeliner, it tends to go. And then I'm going to pop on some liners. So I'm going to use 2 liners in this look. They're both from Colourpop. I'm using Best O, which is just a very deep burgundy plum colour. It's probably going to blend in, to be fair. And then the other one's from a box set, and it's called Frill, and it's kind of a frosty lavender shade. So we'll use the Best O colour first. Oh, do you know what the worst thing is about these liners? They do snap quite easily. I can't actually see that colour, it's really quite nice. It's a nice plum shade. Oh, that is such a pretty shade on the waterline, that really frosty lilac colour. Then I just want to grab a pencil brush. I'm going to go back to the Dark Truffle shade and pop that underneath. I really like these colours in this palette. They do seem to blend really beautifully. They have really nice pigmentation on the brush. And that's that eye. just because I quite fancy trying it. I don't know how it's going to look in this look. Black currant shade, which is kind of a sparkly purple. And I'm just going to gently press some of that onto this eye look in the centre. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, really like that. I will say we've got a fair bit of fallout, even though I'm tapping the brush off, there is some fallout with these. But they are super pigmented, so I really like how that looks. I'm going to go off camera and do the other eye, because otherwise it would take a really long time, and I just sometimes think that people are really put off by my really long waffling videos. So let me go and do the other eye and I'll be right back. Because I've had some fallout, I'm just going to pop some of this concealer on. This is a new concealer. This is an old concealer, but I did pick up a couple of extra ones of these recently, because it's an amazing concealer. So it's the L'Oreal True Match. Okay. Oh. So this concealer is really great when you do get that fallout. It's nice and thick and blendable, and I think it's just a great match for my skin. And it really just brightens around the eye if you've had, some, like I said, some fallout. And you just want to tidy the edges, because I tend to get quite messy around the corners of the eyes. So I just find that this really works out well for me. That's the eyes. Really pleased with those. Love these colours, and I love this liner in the waterline. The only thing I will say about the Colourpop liners, the eyeliners, they do snap quite easily. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. You do get a lot of product in there, in fairness, but you just got to be quite careful. This one doesn't seem to snap quite so much, but some of the darker ones do seem to be a bit more brittle. So the best old one there did snap twice on me there, just a tiny bit, but you know, that's your money dropping off onto the floor basically. But this palette, very, very nice. I'm not going to highlight my brows from this palette because I've got something else to use, but really like the colours in this, really think they're beautiful, and I can't wait to do some more sort of get ready with me's with this palette. Really like that. So now I'm going to highlight the brows. I'm going to use the Sleek, I think, is this the Solstice? Yeah, Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. And I can't remember which colour's which. But I'm just going to go for this colour, I think. It's kind of a pale gold sort of colour, and I'm just going to use the Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush, because it's just quite a nice size. And I'm just going to pop this colour up underneath the brows. It's really nice. And I'm also going to highlight the cheeks, but I'm not going to use that brush. I'm going to use a different brush. And I've got mascara to put on as well, which I will do now. I'm going to use the GRWM Showgirl mascara, and the reason I'm using this is it's not new. I don't tend to buy a lot of new mascaras. I am waiting for one from Superdrug to be delivered, because I just really quite like the look of it. But I got this as a freebie with some nail polishes a while ago. And I saw some bad reviews on Superdrug website, and then I basically left a review of my own because I don't think it's a bad mascara, and it was just getting totally slated. Now the thing for me is with any mascara is I usually allow between 7 to 10 days from opening for it to become a decent mascara, because I just find sometimes they can just be a bit too thin, a bit runny. They're just not great when you first open them. After they've been open for just over a week, then they do start to like really work well, or that's what I find anyway. So this is the GRWM Showgirl, and I love this mascara. I think it's really nice, and like I said, I saw all these bad reviews on Superdrug, so I did leave a review on there of my own. Because I just find, you know, yes, when you first try it, you might think, oh, this is not really doing anything for me. But I have really, really long lashes, but they're really fine. So I find it really quite hard to find something that gives me that kind of length. But I don't want a lot of volume, because I'm not one of these people who likes really thick lashes. But I love this mascara. I don't know if you can see, but it's just really nice. It gives me that nice length, nice definition to the lashes. But like I said, it's not like too thick. So that's the mascara done. So that's the reason I put it in this video, because I really like it. I don't know why it's getting the bad reviews. So the next thing I do is just going to put some blush on. And I'm going to go for Your Love Is King, which is a Sade. I'm sure it's Sade. We are going to go ahead and use Your Love Is King. I might mix a bit of Justify My Love in with it. I'm going for plummy lipstick, so I kind of want to do that pinky plummy sort of cheek.
Wait for you. Justify.
Oh, now he's singing Justify My Love. Thank you, Alec. I like these blushes, they're quite pigmented. What are you doing? Well, bog off.
What? Buy one, get one free?
And to put that on, I was using the Sigma Small Contour F05, which is one of my favourite all-time brushes. And I'm going to quickly contour. Have I even put a contour? Oh yes, I love this brush. So I'm using the Sigma Soft Angled Contour Brush. And I'm just going to use a MAC one, and I don't remember what it's called. That's so bad, isn't it? But this is my MAC contour kit. And I'm just going to pop... Oh, she's off again. I'm just going to pop that into the contours of the cheeks. I may have gone a little heavy-handed with that blush, guys. You forgive me though, right? I'm not going too strong on the contour. I'm going to use the other contour brush from Sigma, which is the Extreme Structure Contour Brush. I'm going to go in with a dark colour and just at the top of the contour where I just want a bit more definition, and then blend it down. I really like this brush because you can get that just extra little bit of depth just where you need it. I don't bring it too far down because I just think that if you contour all the way down, it just... Some people contour all the way to the corners of their lips and it's just like, no. That is not going to look natural, particularly on my face because I have a fuller face. So. Okay, so that will do for that. Then I'm going to take the Sigma Tapered Face. Is this the one that I want? No, it's not. Okay. The Spotlight Duster. And I go back into this palette. And rather than go for the lilac, I think I'll just go for this peachy colour because I just think it'll be a bit more natural. And just pop that onto the cheekbones. And I just prefer to keep it just on top of the cheekbones, not too far down the face. I do have scarring and stuff, and you don't want to be like sort of, you know, put it too much on show. This is really nice highlight. Have I been talking about these products as I've been going? I love these brushes. Love these brushes. Have to say that. But yeah, this highlight palette is actually really nice. I thought it was all creams. It really put me off. And then they were on offer and I just thought, just go for it. We'll see what they're like. But there's actually 3 powders and 1 cream. So I actually think that's quite good. And I just, you know, I think it's much preferable. I'm actually just taking a little bit of the lilac. Just because I'm curious about it. It's really pretty. So that's quite a nice highlight. I don't think there's any particularly chunky glitter. I do think that you want to have a light hand with it though, because I do feel that this is a very, very pigmented palette. I do like the colours though, they're very pretty. So I like that. And then the last thing that we need to go on to is lips. So I've got a couple of products to try here for lips. Okay, so I'm going to use the new Colourpop liner in Jonesing. I'm going to pop that on. I have actually used this, it's a really nice colour. Okay, that's that. Now I've actually worn this liner before. It's such a beautiful colour. So I really like that. And then I'm going to use the Viva Glam Ariana Grande over the top. I found when I swatched this on my lips the first time, I just did it when I received it, so it was like last thing at night, and I was just kind of like, let's see what it looks like on. It did come off very thick and dark, and it was quite drying. So we're going to see what it's like today. Okay. So it does feel very thick in consistency, it does drag slightly, but it's nothing too hard and too uncomfortable. It is a matte. And I would think that it's probably somewhere in between Studded Kiss and Instigator, but I feel like it's not as red as Studded Kiss, but it's not as purple as Instigator. Does that make sense? I really like that colour though, it's really nice. But we're going to try up using the new Sephora Pantone Universe Topper over the top. I have used this a couple of times, I really like it. This one's the one in Rose Quartz. I actually prefer to apply this with the finger, just because it's nice and not to like drag this lipstick into a darker colour. And we're just going to put it on in the centre. Oh, I really like that on this one. It's just giving that a really nice lightness just in the centre, like almost like light is hitting there. Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, love that. Now, the last thing to use is the lip gloss. Don't usually get the matching kind of things, don't always get them anyway. I didn't get the last Miley Cyrus. Nothing because it's Miley, but because it was bright orange and it really wasn't for me. I would never wear it, but I did get the first one and absolutely loved it, and I did get the gloss to match that. I wouldn't always get the gloss to match something, but I just love the soft pink of this one. So I'm just going to pop some of this on. Okay, I'm going to use the lip brush because I just kind of don't want to get this dark shade inside here. These are very, very sticky. I kind of feel I don't want to go too overboard with that, but it's giving it a nice sheen. So now I'm going to try another product. That's the last one. So the last thing I'm going to use is the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hours. Supposed to stay your makeup for 24 hours. Now this has got beads in the bottom, so what I'd say is this is exactly like the L'Oreal one, and you do want to give this a really good shake because the L'Oreal one has got powder in the bottom, and this is a white bottle so you can't see it, but I'm assuming that the beads in there are because of that reason. So give it a good shake. And give it a spritz. It's got quite a nice spray. It's not one of those ones where you get huge globs of water on you. It is quite a nice mist. It's not as fine as the Urban Decay mist that you get from the Urban Decay bottle, I will say that, but it is quite a nice mist. It's nothing too heavy, so feels nice. It smells quite nice. It's got a pleasant smell, but the smell has gone straight away. And that is it. So I really like how the eyes turned out, and I know some people would say, oh, don't do dark eyes and dark lips together, but I personally like how it looks, and I'm pretty impressed with that. So pretty much impressed with everything there that I've shown. I hope you've enjoyed this video, something a little bit different from me. Do let me know in the comments below. I'm going to love and leave you and see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are and whatever you are doing. See you in the next one. Bye!